Welcome everybody to NR Truck Night in America, live here from Daytona International Speedway. Folks, it has been 5 months since these trucks has last hit the track. We have a lot of new faces this season, but before we get to the green flag dropping and some racing going, we got three things to go through before the Florida 500. And tonight we have pole day. Last year, Rago Dorn, the last truck to qualify, won the pole, and he started on the front row. So we'll see if Dorn can repeat, but we have a lot of new faces in the series this year. A lot of drivers moving to ownership roles, a lot of drivers stepping down and not racing anymore. So it's gonna be a fun season. I'm excited to get back racing. It's been a long time. I've been itching for some truck series action, and we finally get it here tonight with pole day. And yeah, folks, we'll be pretty long, hopefully an hour and a half. We have about 40 trucks to going at once. So stick around, enjoy the show, folks, and with no further ado, let's start off with the 42 Avery Alford, the rookie, and the veteran Alexander Rowe. All right, folks, so you can see the leaderboard on the left side of your screen, but with no further ado, let's get this kick started, and let's see what, well, let's not see what, but let's see who comes out on track first. And yeah, I'm glad to be back here in the booth. This will be kind of a lengthy pull day, though. We have about 40 trucks, so it might be a little bit long. Hopefully it isn't too long. Hopefully guys get in, get done, but looking like it's going to be an hour, so. No further ado, let's see who comes out first between Rowe and Avery Alford. Alford, of course, the Gainbridge truck. So the Gainbridge truck will kick off the new season here, and he's in that 42 for Racing Motorsports by the new team owner Aaron Abel, but Alfred and Abel not names that you haven't heard before, especially when it comes to NR 2003 action, both very well known around the community. While Alexander Rowe, we know him very well, very electric with Spire Motorsports last season, and now this season he'll be racing for Vision Motorsports under Matthew Hubert, who was his teammate last year. So he takes over the 7, Hubert moves over to the 27, so we'll see how this goes, but here goes Avery Alford coming out to kick off pole day. Drivers get 2 laps to get their time. Well, they get 2 flying laps, I guess you could say, and that's pretty much it. But you see, WeatherTech is on board, that number 7 for Ram, while Gainbridge, like we said, on board, the series sponsor of the 42 Toyota machine. So Toyota's gonna have a pretty interesting year, and we have a pretty nice spread of drivers, I would say. Very interesting community. It's been nice to meet a lot of new people that have joined, and of course, we already have a lot of personalities, so it's just overall a great experience. But here we go with Alfred beginning his first flying lap. As here comes Alexander Rowe. He's gonna be coming out as well. Hopefully, no interference. There shouldn't be. And no, there will not be. So here comes Alexander Rowe coming out as well. But Alfred begins his first flying lap here tonight at Daytona. I guess you could call it pole night instead of pole day. I mean, both terms work, I guess you could say. Of course, the BBMC tracks are a little bit more laggy, so the feedback on your guys' side might be a little more laggy than usual. That might be just my OBS, so we'll see. But coming through first lap time, Avery Alfred is going to set a 48.795. So that's his first time while here comes Alexander Rowe beginning his first lap. But we will see how this 42 does on his second flying lap. We'll see where he'll end up at the end of the day. Of course, starting isn't too easy. You do not want to be, you're going to be the one that everybody follows their line. But also for Racing Motorsports, they have one driver that will be the last driver to go, which is the 43 of Angel Gutierrez coming over from Rev Racing, who ran Gatebridge last season. So lots of parallels here, but for his final time, let's see what Avery Alford, the rookie, runs. It's going to be a 48.489. We'll see what Alexander Rowe sets here for his first time, and it's going to be a 49.031. So about 4/10 off of the time of Alfred, but can he dig back and get those seconds back? So currently Rowe's hitting about 184. I guess we don't even need the sticker, do we? I mean, well, professional sake, I guess. Alexander Rowe coming through, and we'll see what time he clocks in at. And it'll be a 48.743. So that is Alexander Rowe and Avery Alford. Let's move on to Emily York Watson and the rookie, the 83 of Ronnie Hauger. All right, so now we move on. It'll be the 83 of Ronnie Hauger, the rookie, and the 52 of Emily York Watson, who is returning for her second season. Of course, joined midseason last week, joined Young's Rippers Racing in the 20, and had a pretty solid year. We'll see what she's able to do here for her own team, PPB national team, and it'll be very intriguing to see how her team does this season. So Ronnie Hauger racing for Red Bull, and he raced as well. The Red Bull owner is Alexander Rowe, who just went. So we'll see if Rowe gave him any tips, but it'll be the 52 of York Watson racing that Beyblade machine for her own team. Going up first, we'll see when Hauger comes up, but he's in that beautiful Red Bull machine, and we have a very bright 52 machine out as well. So York Watson looking to beat Avery Alford's time of 48.795. Not 795. 48.489. Here comes Hauger coming off as well. So she comes to begin her first flying lap here at Daytona. We will see what the time for this 52 Ram machine will be. York Watson, one of the more active drivers in the series, and we'll see how she does this season. She's going to be alongside her teammate, the 79 of David Spears, the Sprite machine. First was going to be Ertzen Lucas, but he had to drop out about a week ago due to personal reasons. So Spears got the nod to come in, so we'll see how they do. And as Hauger begins his first lap, we'll see what the 79 is able to do. So York Watson, not 79, the 52 is able to. So York Watson, her first time is 49.676. Which is way off the pace of what Rowe and Alford ran. The weather tonight is very interesting. You got winds coming from the north that are 20 miles per hour. So it's definitely going to be interesting. See how that plays a role into this, and I believe the temperature is about 94 degrees. Hauger's going to come through and complete his first flying lap here. We'll see how he does if he's able to beat out his team owner. We'll see if his pace is faster than that 52. So we got 49.355 for York Watson's final time, while it'll be a 49.481 for Ronnie Hauger. So going about 2/10 faster than York Watson was. So we'll see how Halger does. See how Halger does here. And we'll see where he ends up. Maybe he can beat out his team owner. So his final time for Ronnie Halger will be a 49.139. So now up next we have Matthew Hubert and the 96 of Adrian Gale. So now up next we do have 27 of Matthew Hubert, Division Motorsports owner, and the 96 of Adrian Gale racing for his own team, Gale Force, who he's going to be partnered with. That number 9 of David Dixon. So kind of a Trans-Tasmanian connection there. And Gale's not going to waste any time going out here. Two veterans of the league by far. Both got multiple race wins on the season. Both were Chase members. And we'll see how they do here in pole day. Last year's winner was, well, of course, me. So be interesting to see how it goes this year. Of course, I only ran, I don't know, about, I won't say 8 races, but we will see how these guys do here in the actual race. Matthew Hubert, of course, had a bunch of wins on big tracks last season, and he won at Daytona. No, he won at Talladega, and he won at Indianapolis. So he's known to be good at these drafting tracks. We'll see what he's able to do. While Adrian Gale is more of a road course ringer as he begins his first flying lap. So two intriguing prospects to say the least, not prospects, two intriguing drivers to say the least when it comes to racing here at Daytona. So both are actually be coming through to complete their first flying lap here. So these guys wasted no time, which you love to see. So see what Gale comes and clocks in at. And like I said, he's one of the best road course ringers in the league, the Australian. He runs a 49.251, so already looking way better than York Watson and Ronnie Halger. Hubert's going to come through here in a moment, and we'll see what his time will be. So Hubert's first time on the board, a very good, I guess you'd say, 2 mile and over driver. It's going to be a 49.287, so almost identical times there for both of these guys. But as Gale comes through now, I believe this is going to be him clocking in, and yes, it will be. So we'll see where Gale comes through, and we'll see where he ends up on the leaderboard, both already higher than Emily York Watson. 48.9 flat. So that put him pretty well. That'll put him up to third on the leaderboard currently. We'll see where Matthew Hubert clocks in at. .966. So those two have a pretty solid going there. And we'll see how Hallie Anderson Jr. for Silly Thing Racing and the 40 of Chris Martin does next. Alright, so next up it'll be the 15 of Hallie Anderson Jr. and the 40 of Chris Martin's. Hallie Anderson Jr. races for Silly Thing Racing. Fortunately, going to be quite slow as Silly Thing Racing did not submit their team ratings. Gave the drivers an opportunity to submit their ratings, but they both decided not to. So they're going to suffer quite a lot here. Be way off the pace. While Chris Martin's returns for his second season, as well as Anderson Jr. and Martin's will be racing the 40 for Bow Racing and going to be racing the Mopar machine. So a lot of Ram trucks to start off. We've already seen about 4 of them. So getting the Rams out early, but We'll see how Hallie Anderson Jr. does. Not going to be too fast, but of course that's what happens. We'll see if Sarah Taylor, the team owner, gets her team ratings in by race 4, or else we will have a new owner of Silly Thing Racing for the rest of the season. And hopefully it doesn't come to that point, but you have to be strict with some of these guys. So now as Anderson Jr. comes through, they're going to start their flying lap here in a second, while Martin still hasn't quite came out yet. But you see that beautiful number 40, gonna look to have a great season. Had some struggles, showed some flashes of greatness, not greatness, showed some flashes of skill, but unfortunately was not able to quite put it together. But only ran about, I want to say, 8 or 10 races last season, so the door could be wide open as here comes Martins now coming off of pit road. So see what Anderson Jr. runs, but I can already tell you it's not going to be too fast. Let's see how this 15 of Anderson Jr. does for their first lap. And it'll be a 50.340. So yeah, not too fast and likely going to be sandbagging it all race next week as they simply just don't have the pace. As here comes Martins to begin his first flying lap here. Hopefully he'll have enough, well, he will have enough time to do 2 of them. We'll see if Anderson Jr. can improve, but currently they are slated to be last by a lot. So coming to the line for her final time, Hallie Anderson Jr., it will be a 50 flat. So see where Martins comes through for his first time. 49.237. So that currently is faster than Hubert and Gale. So we'll see if he can jump up to second. I have no clue why it highlights 5th place, but it's whatever. So Martin's time will be a 48.870. So that'll put him all the way up to 3rd, behind Alexander Rowe and Avery Alfred. So up next we have Raul Dorn and Patrick Raven. So now, folks, we have one of the fan favorites and the rookie going up, and it's going to be the 99 Raul Dorn coming back for his second season. I think one most popular driver last year, and yeah, he sure won a lot of fan votes at that. So the Dutch driver moves over to NS Racing, ran by Nathan Sableton, who decided to step down and go into full-time team owning. And he's got a solid lineup. He's got this 99 Adorn who brings experience. Well, he has 2 rookies, Matthew Burnett and Caleb Rose, but 2 not unfamiliar names. Caleb Rose runs the Turkey Hill Truck Series, so he does have some experience. While Patrick Raven races for his own team, Spares Raven Racing, so we'll see what he is able to do. And we'll see how fast this 99 and number 6 are. Both taking their time on going out so far. We'll see if they can get their 2 laps in, hopefully. So there goes Raven going out. And that number 6 Viagra Toyota. At 99, Adorn's going to want to get off pit road very soon if he wants to get 2 laps in. There he goes. Well, so we'll see how Raven does. Going to be a rookie, but we have a lot of rookies this year, so it'll be intriguing to see who really wins Rookie of the Year. But it's going to be a tough fight. A lot of new names, a lot of new faces, but it should be a fun season. This season, of course, it's not spec trucks, so it's actual team parts and stuff. So some teams will be good at things other teams aren't, so. And Dorn's sake, Dorn was almost solid at every track last season. Raced for McNally Racing. Didn't quite get his race well on the season, but he was definitely there for most of them. Made the chase, and had a great year. So see where Raven clocks in at currently. Avery Alford, a Toyota teammate, currently has the pole with a 48.489. So now coming through, we'll see what their first time will be for this number 16. 49.248. So just a little bit behind Martin's final lap, so we'll see where he ultimately comes up. But right now, it looks like he'll be either 3rd or 4th. Yeah, it looks like he'll just be above 4th right now. While Dorn coming through to enter his first flying lap, it'll be a 49.414. So for Raven's final lap, it'll be 48.909. So that'll put Raven up to 5th behind Adrian Gale. So we'll see where this 99 ends up. But right now, Avery Alford's still controlling the first driver to go. And it looks like not everybody else has been really able to mimic the lines that Alfred was able to run. See what Dorn runs here. Coming to the line, it will be a 49.074. So next up we have the 81 of James Daniel and the 32 of Caden Arcadia. So now up next we have the 32 of Caden Arcadia and the 81 of James Daniel. James Daniel comes over from McNally Racing to the Ford camp to race for Lego McLaren, which is ran by Sanjay Vittoria, who stepped down for racing and went into an ownership role. So we'll see how fast Daniel is this season, while Caden Arcadia showed some flashes of stardom last season. Their home track at Canadian Tire led most of the race. Not right. Was it Canadian Tire? Canadian Tire. I think it was Canadian Tire or Road America. I forgot which race it was, but unfortunately had some contact coming off of pay road, and it's made them very, very slow. But you see, they painted both of these trucks actually, so 2 beautiful trucks here. And it'll be the 32 coming off first, but I mean that scheme that Arcadia painted here for the 81, it is beautiful there. My Hero Academia, so that'll be a fun scheme to watch this season. But we'll see how Arcadia does for Trident Racing Engineering under Jade Schuster Schofield. So as they come through here, Arcadia will begin their first flying lap while Daniel is also out. So see what Kid and Arcadia can do. Joined a little, well, not even a little, pretty late into the season. So they do have the rookie sticker, because not for sure, but I think I said if you didn't meet the minimum of races, you were a rookie this season. So Arcadia does count as one. And I want to say somebody else does as well. I can't think of them right now. I think it's the 01 of Lexi Herman that counts as a rookie. Of course, the Tamapata Racing. This is their home track, Daytona International Speedway. And a few months ago, it was announced that Caden Arcadia would be driving this 32 for Triton Racing and Engineering right here at Daytona International Speedway as well. So, we have 49.974 for Arcadia, which is way off the pace compared to what we've seen so far. Well, James Daniel will see what it is for this 81 machine. .987, yikes. These two not running the greatest of laps right now for the Ford camp, but we'll see if they're able to rebound themselves. As here comes Arcadia to get their second flyer in. So Arcadia's final time will be a 49.598. So not the fastest time. That will put them in 10th, pending where James Daniel. So not a fast time there, but of course it's Daytona, so anything can happen. If we've learned anything from last season, these super speedways will be chaos, and you can win from anywhere. So Daniel for his final time, 49.656. So up next we have Peter Onjak, the Season 1 champion, and Trey Wright. So now will be our Season 1 champion, Peter Onjak, taking the track for his own team, joining the Chevrolet camp. And he's going to be racing the 03 for Anjado, sponsored by Chevrolet Accessories, a very nice and simple scheme. While we have Trey Wright for Red Racing under Jack Red making their first entry into our Truck 9 America in the Gainbridge Truck Series. And Trey Wright, once again, a familiar name in our community, ran the Mission Barbecue Cup, still runs the Mission Barbecue Cup Series for a long time and is well known around. So we just have a lot of guys joining in the series that are well known in the community. But you see these two trucks there, that 03 is just a beautiful truck. I just love the red and yellow. And it's going to be the 55 coming out first of Trey Wright. So see where Trey Wright qualifies for Red Racing. Onjak still on pit road. So far Avery Alfred controls the top of the leaderboard, and some guys are about a second and a lot behind. So it'll be interesting to see how this pace translates into the race when we have draft and stuff, obviously. I almost forgot to turn on the ticker here, but Trey Wright to begin his first flying lap. So here comes Onjak finally coming out, but we'll see where Trey Wright places himself for his first flying lap. So far the pace has dropped off a little bit, but we'll see if it picks back up. It'll be very windy out, 20-mile-per-hour winds coming north. 49.460. So it looks like he'll be just above Arcadia at the moment, but looks like he'll just get ahead of Ronnie Halger in 8th, where he's currently projected. So not too slow of a lap, but definitely looks like Alfred going out first had the advantage. Everybody else trying to replicate the line he ran, but not doing a great job at it. So now coming through for his final flyer is going to be a 49.153 for Trey Wright. While Peter Onjak began his first flyer, we'll see where he ends up. But Trey Wright currently in at 9th. Next up on hand is the 74 Ryder Shields Kelly for Silly Thing Racing, so likely going to be very slow. But then we have the 38 for Haynes Racing of Joseph Wood, who won Watkins Glen last season, jumps over to Brandon Haynes' team, who ran the 45 for Nice last season. So Haynes starts the team, but Onjak going to clock in at a 50.414. Holy cow. That is the slowest we've seen so far today. Slower than what's that? 15 of Hallie Anderson Jr. ran. But Onjak isn't a super speedway guy, so it'll be interesting to see how all this translates into the race, or the duels, I'll say. The duels tomorrow night. So we'll see how this one plays out. So Onjak for his second flyer lap didn't go as quick as you would expect. There'll be a 50.1 on the dot. So now up next we have Ryder Shields Kelly and the 38 of Joseph Wood. Alright, so now it is the 74 of Ryder Shields Kelly, the rookie for Silly Thing Racing, and the 38 of Joseph Wood returning for his second season, but now racing under the Haynes Racing banner, and he moves over to Chevrolet. But it will be the Wawa machine for that 74 Silly Thing Racing. Kind of has a Tricon thing going on with their design. All trucks running a similar set of designs, but you see that beautiful 38, that gradient there for that Sparko machine. And we'll see how he does, and he's going to come out first, so we'll see how this 38 does here. We'll see if he can put down a good time, as Avery Alford has been the star of the show here to start off this pole day. So sorry I can't speak right now, folks, but we'll see what time he puts down. Here comes the 74 as well, so it should be relatively quick for these two. So here comes the 38 to begin his first flying lap. He's got that 74 right behind him, not too far away, so it'll be intriguing to see how this 38 can do and see what the pace on these Chevys are. The highest Chevy currently is the 96 of Adrian Gale. But Joseph Wood, very active driver. It's going to be fun to see how he does this season. So for his first time here, it will be a 49.371. So he runs a little bit of a faster time than some of them so far. We'll see where Shields comes in. 50.749, which is not all that surprising. But we'll see how this 38 does here. We'll see how Wood does coming through to complete his second flying lap. We'll see where he puts the first Haynes Racing entry on the board. Currently sits 11th. We'll see where this time takes him. 49.024, which will take him all the way up to 7th, while Shields is currently turning to be dead last. And it'll be a 50.384. So up next we have the number 2 of Jimmy West, the open entry, and the 92 of Nick Mahowald. Alright folks, so now it'll be the number 2 of Jimmy West, the one open truck coming into this race, so he shouldn't have any issue making it in, and the 92 of Nick Mahowald, who replaces the current team owner, Senjo Vittoria, in that 92. Vittoria ran it for RFK last season. Now it's going to be Lego McLaren running this 92, and he'll still be in the Ford camp. So we'll see how Mahowald does for this team, but Vittoria, very dedicated team owner, so we'll see how he does. So far, we've had a lot of driver owners, and just experienced guys as team owners, so it'll be fun to see. So see how these two machines do. The number 2 McLaren Motorsports 4 Ram. So we'll see how they do, but both of them taking their time. Mahowald was first out, but doesn't look like he's doing anything just yet. We'll see how or when these two come out. And hopefully they get started soon if they want to get their 2 laps in, but they're taking their sweet time. So they both come out at the same time. It'll be Jimmy West leading them out. So we'll see how these two do. Lego McLaren's first driver, the 81 of James Daniels, places 13th currently, so didn't do too well, but we'll see if his teammate does better. But to begin their first flying laps, both of them, the 2 and the 81, Jimmy West, can make up to 18 starts this season, so we'll see how it goes. We'll see how many races he runs in this number 2 from McLaren Motorsports, but there's got 2 other options, the 16 Safe Flight machine or the 71 Ziegler machine, but none of those machines will be running here today. So both coming through to complete their first time. We'll see where West clocks in at, and we'll see where Mahowald clocks in at. So West will clock in at a 50.135. Well, Nick will be a 49.908. So man, the pace is just falling off as we've gotten further into the night. And before anybody asks, the weather has been set to the same for every driver. So 42 and 7, we're just zooming as the first driver's on track. So see where these two come in for their second time. So Nick West, Jamie West for number 2 for McLaren Motorsports will be a 49.7.67. So, and it's gonna be 49.577 for the 92. So we'll see how they do on a race day and in the duels. So next up we have the 20 of Ryan Little and the 37 of Jay Valen. Alright, so now it's time for the 20 of Ryan Little, who looks to start off the season keeping up the momentum he's had 5 months ago as he won the final race at Miami, that number 19 for McNally Racing, but now races for his own team, and the 20 for Thunderstar Racing, while we have the 37 Jay Valen, the rookie, um, from Florida, I'm pretty sure, racing the 37 for Haynes Racing. His teammate was able to get up to 7th. We'll see where this number 37 is able to do. After these guys go, we'll be down 20, and we have 20 more to go as we're close to an hour in. So see when these two decide to come out. And here comes the 20 of Ryan Little. So here comes Ryan Little coming off. Like I said, won Miami to finish off the season. We'll see if he can return to the state of Florida and get a win at the other track, but it'll be interesting to see. So as he begins his first lap, Valen not off the pit road just yet. But here he comes, so we'll see where this 20 clocks in for his first lap, but in that beautiful Bass Pro machine, it'll be fun to see how he does this season. So his first time is going to be a 49.658. So man, yeah, the pace is just not that great so far. While Valen begins his first time, but we'll see where Little comes in for his second clocked time. And we'll see where he ends up at right now. Not going to be too quick. But man, oh man, some guys are really off the pace compared to this 42 and 7. But right now, Avery Alford might win the pole in the Gainbridge machine at the beginning of the Gainbridge Truck Series season. So say that 5 times fast. It'll be a 49.3044 for Ryan Little. Well, Jay Valen, it'll be a 49.483 for his first time. So we'll see where he clocks in for a second time, but he is a little faster than what we've seen so far, but he should end up right in front of Trey Wright if I had to guess. So we'll see where the second Haynes Racing entry comes in at. It'll be 49.095. So I'll move him all the way up to 9th. So next up, we have the 45 Sarah Taylor and the 84 Patrick Nolan. So now it is the 45 of Patrick Nolan and 45 of Sarah Taylor and the 84 Patrick Nolan. Nolan races for Red Bull Fallout Racing. His teammate Ronnie Hauger currently sits in 10th place. We'll see what the 84 purple Red Bull machine is able to do. But we have the 45 Sarah Taylor coming out as well. But you know, those silly thing racing teams have not been too good so far to start off pole day. So 20 trucks down, 20 more to go here. Just about an hour and, well, 7 minutes into an hour. But we'll see how these two do. Here comes the 45 of Sarah Taylor coming out first. Nolan originally was slated to run that 40 that Chris Martins is in, but after some conflict with the team owner, Fernando de Oliveira, he now races 84 for Fallout Racing, partnered with Red Bull. Unfortunately, first supposed to be Drew Hackenberg, but about a week ago, Hackenberg did not meet their contract rule requirements, so they got replaced. So it's been a lot of driver moves before the season has even began. So we'll see where Sarah Taylor comes in at. But be their first flying lap now. So see as they come through, as 84 begins their first flying lap. We'll see what the time for the 45 first flying lap will be. It'll be a 50.335. 355. We'll see where Nolan will clock in here soon, but although I need to fix that reef number on that 84, I meant to make it white. Forgot to. But we'll see how he does this season. I'm really excited to see how all these new teams do. Nolan's a very active driver in the series, so we'll see where his first time is going to be. 49.483. almost identical. Well, it is identical to Jay Valen, while we have 50.001 for Sarah Taylor, which will put her right in front of Hallie Anderson Jr. So we'll see how this 84 clocks in, but right now nobody has been able to touch that. It's 42 of Avery Alford. It'll be a 49.128 for the 84, which will put him all the way up to 10th place, right in front of his teammate Ronnie Hauger. So up next we have the 97 of Matthew Burnett and a 30 of William Ayers. Alright, so now we have the 97 of Matthew Burnett, another entry for NS Racing. His teammate Rockwell Dern currently sits in 8th. Well, we have the 30 of William Ayers, who races for Anja Auto. Ayers, the king of short tracks here in our Truck 9 American. He's running that 30 Chevrolet accessories scheme, another scheme I love, just the simplicity of it. And that 97 I love as well, the Powerade machine, inspired by Stuart Gratton's version for the Wawa Cup Series. But here comes that 30 of William Ayers, not wasting any time. The king of short tracks here. I think at one point he didn't. At one point, like I think going into the chase, Ayers finished either second or above at short tracks, but not as that much competition. Roxy D'Angelo's out of the series, and so is Bjorn Fjornsson. So we'll see if he can really take over the series. Take over the series at short tracks. Here comes the 97 of Burnett coming out now, so we'll see how he does. Racing for Nathan Stapleton. So here comes Ayers to begin his first flying lap. Can he do better than his teammate Peter Onjak? We will see. For speeds, he is currently running a 184 in the middle of the corner. So he might be moving a little bit compared to what we've seen so far. '97's going to come through and begin his first flying lap. But we'll see where this, not first flying lap, to start his first flying lap, we'll see where the 84, not 84, wow, I cannot speak, it's going to be the 30 now. We'll see where he comes in for his first flying lap time. And it'll be a, whoa, 50.422. It's not the time he's going to want, and that is slow so far. So Anjado just not prepared for the super speedways, it seems. We'll see how they do in the actual race, but we'll see how Matthew Burnett does for NS Racing. His top speed is 174. He's going super slow as well. Man, oh man, this might be even slower. Oh, 49.477 and 447. So man, I mean, I guess he's doing pretty solid. Oh yeah, he's reaching 189 in these corners. So that must have meant that, I mean, Alfred and Rowe must have been going at least 94. 194. But Burnett, we'll see where he clocks in for his second time. While Ayer's second time is at 50.050. So he'll move up to 22nd right in front of his teammate. But Burnett for his time will be a 49.094. So he'll move up into ninth. And up next we have Kyler Sestre and the 79 of David Spears. Alright, so now up next we have the 17 of Kyler Sestre and the 79 of David Spears. His teammate Emily York Watson and that 52 is 15th, while the 17th teammate Patrick Raven is in 5th. So we'll see if we finally get some pace back going. We'll see how fast this 17 goes here. First, the 17 was supposed to be Dylan Matiska, but unfortunately Matiska had to step down a few weeks ago, which is a shame because he was one of the more active drivers despite his struggles last season. But we have a pretty solid replacement. But it's going to be the 79 of Spears coming out first. No relation to Spears Raven Racing, but his name is David Spears. Sorry for the silence there. I was texting somebody, folks, but yeah, they both actually came out at pretty much the same time, so they'll both get their uh, times clocked in here pretty soon. But here comes the 79 of Spears for PPB national team. That beautiful Sprite machine. It's gonna be fun to see how Spears does so far this season. Spears was in the running for the 17 truck, matter of fact, so that's pretty funny. But fortunately, uh, Spears and Raven chose uh, Sestre. So Sestre has some experience as well. I have personal experience with him. Races for my team in another league, so well, not even another league. Races in my team, race for my team in the JBL Cup Series. So, you know, a lot of connections being thrown around now. That this series is growing and adding more and more well-known names in the community. But we'll see where the 79 comes in for his first time. It'll be a 49.694. We'll see what his teammate, this I think it's 17 is moving too. Yeah, 49.057. That's the fastest we've seen so far in a minute, and they're gonna look to catch up to their teammate. Yeah, running a 191. He might get up there past Patrick Raven himself. So it looks like this Spirit Raven team is very fast, but we'll see where the 79 comes in for their second flying lap. We'll see where they will be starting so far. So it'll be a 49.361. Well, Sustre coming through is going to be a 48.726. Oh, 726. So that'll put into second, right in front of Alexander Rose. So finally, a very fast lap time. It'll be Kyler Sustre jumping up to second. Up next, we have the 41 of Aaron Abel and the 23 of Carson Miller. All right, so Kyler Sustre in the 17 jumps up to second. He'll be on the front row alongside the 17 Avery Alford. So we'll see if that stands, but he was the first fast truck we've seen in a minute. So see how Carson Miller does for Vision Motorsports, the final Vision Motorsports entry. Well, we have the 41 of Aaron Abel, who is the team owner of Racing Motorsports and the teammate of the 42 of Avery Alford. So we'll see how the 23 of Carson Miller does, and we'll see how the 41 of damn, I can't speak. The 41 of Aaron Abel does. So Aaron Abel can look to follow his teammate, while Carson Miller can look to follow his teammates as well as Matthew Hewer currently sits 7th, and the 7 of Alexander Rose sits third. So we'll see where they come in, but they're going to be starting their first flying lap here. Well, 41 and Abel just came off, so see how Carson Miller does. Miller, very good for Nice Motorsports. Also has a personal connection with me as he ran the 41 and no, not the 41, the 75 in the recent season of the Power Rate Truck Series. So now racing for Matthew Hubert here for Vision Motorsports. We'll see how he does. A very experienced driver as well. Almost won in his first start in the 41 for Nice Motorsports last season at Walkinsville in that crazy race that Joseph Wood ended up winning. But we'll see how he does here on his first flying lap. 49.10181. Sorry. Can't, I just don't know what I'm saying at this point. So he is flying as well. So now the pace is starting to pick up between these drivers. So this is interesting. It kind of mellowed down in the mid-pack, but now as we get to our final 15 drivers, it looks like these guys are going to be flying through now. So we'll see where Aaron Abel comes in for his time. It's a teammate of our current pole sitter, the 42 of Avery Alford. And it'll be a 49.154. Oh my lord. The grip has picked up on the track as we'll see where Miller comes in. 49.846. So he'll jump up to, I think, oh, I put it in wrong. So we have 48.846. That's what. But Aaron Abel for his second lap time will be a 48.804. So that'll move them into 4th and 5th respectively. And now next up we have the 01 of Lexi Herman and the 64 Todd Gordon Castlenet. And we'll see if those two can continue the amped up pace we've gotten in the last 4 or 5 trucks who are now starting to go very fast. So the pace is starting to kick up now. Now we'll see how the 01 of Lexi Herman does. This is the home track for Tamapata Racing, as I mentioned earlier. And they'll be joined by 64 of Todd Gordon Castlenet. I just realized I never uploaded the updated scheme, so this is not. It's similar to the scheme they're gonna run, but this is not the actual fully right scheme for the 64. It's gonna be a little bit lighter because I had to make some adjustments because I don't know, the layers was off or something when the team owner Jacob Schenkel was painting, and it kind of caused some issues, but we'll see how it goes. So it will be the 64 coming out first, though. Racing for Jacob Schenkel Racing. And the Aflac machine. But right now, it's been a Toyota and Ram show at the top of the board. There's a bunch of Toyotas in the top 10. We have two lone Chevys of Adrian Gale and Joseph Wood. While everybody else has been Toyotas and Rams. So we'll see how this Ford does here. We have a Ram here and the 01, so we'll see how Lexi Herman does as well. So see where they clock in here. Sorry. Busy setting up when I need to practice this presentation I have tomorrow, so I'm trying to multitask and do this, but Herman came off now. We'll see where the 64 of Todd Gordon clocks in for his first time for Jacob Schenkel Racing, making their first NCNA debut. And it'll be a 49.352, so a very solid time for that machine. They're going pretty fast too. They're going about 186. They could jump into the top 10 here and spoil this Ram and Toyota party. We'll see what the top speed Lexi Herman reaches, and we'll see if it's just this Dodge power that's really getting them up there. Right now at 184, but their second lap will be faster, of course. So we'll see where Castlenut comes in for Jacob Schenkel Racing. But right now it's trying to be a very fast time, only 2/10 off Carson Miller, who is in 5th. So it'll be a 49.050. So he'll jump up to 11th. So kind of falls off on the second lap. We'll see where Lexi Herman comes in for her first lap. It'll be a 49.339. So a little bit faster than Castlenut's time. We'll see the speed they're at. So they're moving about at the same pace. So see where they officially clock in at though, but I mean the pace is starting to pick up as we can see, and it's really weird because it just flatlined and got worse and worse, and now it's getting better again. So somehow the track's evolving when it's not really, I guess. I mean, I guess for realism purposes, it looks like the track is evolving, but realistically, it's not. So Lexi Herman's time will be a 48.951. That is fast. And that's going to put her up to 9th. So that knocks out Joseph Wood, and it is a Ram show in the top 10 along with the Toyotas. Up next, we have the 36 of Brandon Haynes and the 9 of David Dixon. Two Chevys going at it. All right, so now we're up here for the 36 of Brandon Haynes and the 9 of David Dixon. Two veterans of the lead. David Dixon got, I want to say, 2 or 3 race wins last season. Was very good in the number 5 for Tricon Garage. Moves over to Gale Force Racing, now runs that Coke machine. And we'll see how he does here as he's coming off immediately. And he'll be joined by Brandon Haynes, who was in the chase as well with them last season. And Brandon Haynes had quite a couple wins, was looking like one of the best drivers in the league, and one of the most popular drivers. But we will see how they both do as they're not wasting any time coming out. And this is a fun set of drivers right here. But Brandon Haynes, unfortunately, was not able to get his first win last season. It's just a rough year overall for that 45, well, not rough year, the great year overall for the 45 team, but they weren't able to put it all together at some points. But yeah, David Dixon had 2 race wins, had a very crazy win over Roggeldorn at IRP, and then won a crazy race at Richmond. So he's very good at short tracks and winning those hectic races. We will see how he does here on his first flying lap, but Brandon Haynes, good overall, all around as well, but mostly a road course guy, so we'll see how he does in that iRacing machine for his own team, Haynes Racing. So far, his drivers have been able to get up to 11th and 15th, so we'll see what the pace is on this number 9, this number 36, but this number 9 truck is already moving. Took a sneak peek, I guess you could say, at the speed, and it was at 188 for his first lap time, which is super fast. But right now, it's been Rams and Toyotas up front. The only non-Ram or Toyota is that 96 of Adrian Gale, who is a teammate of the number 9 of David Dixon. So no wonder they're going so fast. Four 9 3 6 7 for That is not the wrong guy. 49.367 for the 9 truck. While Brandon Haynes ran a 49.337. So, man, these two are moving now. So, we'll see where they clock in, but they are both going very, very fast. And they're going better, faster than Castlenet, who was in 12th, and faster than Lexi Herman, who jumped up to 9th. So these both of them are going to look to jump into the top 10 here and spoil this party and show that Sevi has something to say. Pardon me. 48.994 for Dixon. And it'll be a four. They just tied. So they both run the same lap time, and they'll both be 11th and 12th. So their pace does fall off just a little bit, but now up next we have the 82 Ricky LaFleur and the 33 of Carl Young, but they both tied. Now, folks, we have the 33 Carl Young, who races for Lego McLaren, and the 82 Ricky LaFleur, who was the last Red Bull Fallout Racing entry. But Young, his teammates so far, 81 is in 26, while Nick is in 24th. So we'll see how they do. Well, for Red Bull Racing, it has been eh, all right. Both are in 18th and 19th, so we'll see how these two do. Two Ford trucks, but we have only 6 guys to go here. They're on a good roll. The guys going pretty quick, and now it's slowed down again. They are both taking their sweet time here. And now here comes the 82. And these guys are actually partners as well. Well, not like that, but affiliated with each other in the Ford branch, which they are the only what's it called? We probably are the only teams affiliated with each other. No, I'd say it's probably more from a reliability standpoint. Man, it's mostly just Lego McLaren, supplying Red Bull Racing, Red Bull Fallout with that intel. Which kind of like real life where you have Roush 8 engines, all that stuff, but unfortunately not a lot of teams made any partnerships. You might see some more grows, see more as the season progresses, yeah. So we'll see where so the 83, 33 finally comes off. Now the 82 begins his first flying lap. We'll see how high he gets. If he gets, so he's gonna be pretty. No, 187. Gonna be pretty solid. Not a bad time there. So we'll see where he clocks in as Carl Young began his first time. And it'll be a 49.643. To now, pace dropping back off a little bit now. But we'll see how it goes. The only Dodge we have, Ram we have left is 11 and 80. Then we have one Toyota left, the 43 of Angel Gutierrez, so will end us off. So it's going to be a lot of Fords and Chevrolets left as we have the two teammates, the 57 of Caden Walsh and the 5 of Tanner Calvert up next. So the first time for Carl Young will be a 50.013. So not good at all, but that's just how the pace has been. Wow, that was on accident. That's how the pace has been for some of these guys, but the 82's final time will be a 49.321. So that'll put him up into 22nd, so a little bit behind his teammates. But we'll see where this 33 of Carl Young clocks in. Before we move on to the red racing guys. And the 33 of Carl Young will clock in at a 49.671, so that's not bad, and that's a good improvement from where he started. So he'll move up to 28th right behind his teammate. But now up next we have the 57 and 5 Calvert and Walsh for red racing. Now we have the two red racing machines. It's going to be the 5 of Tanner Calvert and the 57 of Caden Walsh. Both racing under Jack Red, their teammate. The 55 of Trey Wright is all the way in 20th, so see if they have any more pace. But after that, we have our final four trucks, two Rams, Ford, and a Toyota. Ram and Toyota have been very fast so far here today. We'll see if they can keep up the pace. So we'll see when these two decide to come out. But we'll see what the pace is for these Chevys. Right now, hasn't been too great, but I mean, it is only Daytona, but right now, those Ram and Toyotas have been doing very, very good. So the 57 of Caden Walsh is going to come off first. We'll see if Calvert follows in that Budweiser machine. Yes, he does. So see where these two clock in at. And, well, Gale is only Chevy inside the top 10, but the 36 of Haynes and 9 definitely gave some hope. And the 38. So, I mean, they definitely have some pace, but, I mean, to be fair, no position really matters besides the front row because the duels will shuffle that up really quickly. But it does show your overall single lap pace. So Walsh begins his first flying lap, and we'll see how he does. That FedEx machine, another rookie. Whole Red Racing team is rookies, actually. Well, the 5 of Calvert just began his, but Walsh is a higher up guy in Red Racing. Although Jack Red is the owner, Walsh is kind of the second in command. So we'll see what it's gonna be 49.341. So that's a pretty solid time, faster than Haynes and Dixon, and just a little bit off Lexi Herman. So they're looking to get into the top 10 here. At 49.286, so these Red Racing machines are moving right now. Faster than both of them, faster than their teammate Trey Wright, and we'll see where the 57 clocks in. And we'll see, it will be 48.973, which will put him right in 11th. So the pace just falls off on the final lap. They look like they're going really fast, and then it just falls off just a little bit. But we'll see where Calvert clocks in and if he can get inside the top 10 for Red Racing. 48.947, which will put him in a 9th. So knocks Matthew Hubert down to 11th. So now the Chevy's starting to heat up, but up next we have the last two Rams in pole day. It's going to be the 11 of Monica Pato and the 80 of Ryan Osborne. Alright folks, so now we have our last two Ram drivers, the 11 of Monica Pato and the 80 of Ryan Osborne. Red Racing guys just put up some heaters of a laps. Walsh knocks out Calvert knocks out Hubert from the top 10, but man, oh man, I'm really intrigued on how these duels in the main race are going to go, because it's going to be very interesting to see how Red Racing does and all these Ram and Toyota teams. So I'm honestly very intrigued, although I will say the, wow, I can't speak. The Fords don't look too strong, but here comes Ryan Osborne in the number 80 for BO Racing. Well, not BO Racing, for Bo Racing. We got a beautiful scheme right there. His teammate, Chris Martins, is all the way up there in 6th, so we'll see how fast this number 80 is, but the Rams have been fast all day. Lexi Herman got it into the top 10 for Atama Potter Racing. This is Monica Pato's home race, so we'll see how she does in 11, but after this, it's just going to be Caleb Rose and Angel Gutierrez, and we'll see how those two do in a Toyota in a Toyota and Ford. We'll see if Gutierrez can match his teammates' times, which are Avery Alford and Aaron Abel. But let's see how the 80 and the 11 do right here. So they begin their first lap. Monica Patterson come here soon to start her first lap as well. So we'll see how Osborne does. Osborne, of course, is actually a McLaren driver, like a McLaren driver, but due to us not having our D2 series actually happen this year, he got loaned over to Bo Racing in the 80s. So Landon Livernois was destined to run that truck for quite a while, but he dropped out about a month or two ago. But we'll see where this 80 of Osborne clocks in for his first time. These Rams have been fast. Where will it be now? 48.848. So, whoa, wait, 48.848. Holy cow, that is fast. That's all the way in 6th. Holy hell, this 80 is zooming. We'll see where Monica Pato clocks in. 49.628, so not as good. But man, oh man, that 80 is flying. He might get pole here. He is just a little bit slower than Avery Alford. He might jump up to 2nd here. We will see. So Ryan Osborne coming to the line, and it's going to be 48.498. So he's going to jump up to 2nd. But man, oh man, he was moving quick. We'll see where Monica Pato comes in. But Osborne jumps on to the first row, and we'll see where Pato comes in. 49.244, so not a great time compared to the rest of her Ram teammates. But now, for our final two drivers here of pole night here and in our Truck 9 America, will be Caleb Rose and Angel Gutierrez to finish us off. Alright folks, so now for our final two drivers, the 43 of Angel Gutierrez Start off with his teammate Avery Alford, who still sits on pole. Can he jump in and get him is the question, but he's got two teammates in the top 5, while Caleb Rose in the number 98 for NS Racing. He's got his highest teammate is Matthew. Well, it's actually Raul Goldorn and Matthew Burnett in 17th and I mean, ni- wow, 18th and 19th. So we'll see how this goes here for that number 98 of Caleb Rose. But it is going to be intriguing to watch this 43 Sunoco machine of Angel Gutierrez, and we'll see if he can maybe take the pole from his teammate of Avery Alford. So see who comes out first, but you see that 98 JBL machine, and see which one of them they're going to take their time here. Don't want to rush it. And we will see who will be the last truck. I don't know. They might be playing a cat and mouse game here. Caleb Rose telling 43 to go first, while 43 telling the 98 to go first. Who is going to be the last driver to take? And it's going to be the 98 of Caleb Rose. So there goes Angel Gutierrez. Not going to wait any longer. Can he take the pole from his teammate Avery Alford, or will he jump into the top 5 with Aaron Abel? We will see. And we'll see Caleb Rose is going to take his time as well, but he does not want to wait too long. He's going to get all his laps in. But that NS Racing team, not going to rush him too much. They want a perfect lap here from that number 98 of Caleb Rose to see if they can jump inside this top 10 and spoil this Ram and Toyota party. But he's actually really want to get the move on here, Caleb, because you do get an extra 40 seconds, but you don't want to wait too long. But that might be just his strategy here. So here he comes now. So here comes Caleb Rose. He's going to be the final driver to take a lap. But here comes Angel Gutierrez. First flying lap here. We'll see how fast he's going. And make sure these two won't get collected. They will not. We'll see how fast he's going. 180, 190 maybe? But he's going to have a very quick first lap, it seems. So we'll see how fast this 43 is. But man, oh man, Racing Motorsports starting off with a bang here under Aaron Abel's leadership, as they have two fast trucks. And I mean, that Spears Raven team fast as well. I mean, what a lap there by Ryan Osborne. I mean, that was electrifying. 48.848. Quick first one. Let's see where Gutierrez comes in for his first flying lap. 48.941. So he's moving pretty quick. He's already guaranteed in the top 10, knocking out Tanner Calvert. We'll see where he can put this truck, though. And Caleb Rose would just barely get in that second lap, but man, oh man, he's going to thread the needle here. But let's see what Caleb Rose's first flying lap will be for NS Racing. And it will be a 49.553, while Abel's time is going to be a 48.606. As he is flying. But that'll put that'll put Gutierrez up to third, and 49.553 for Caleb Rose is going to be too quick here, as he's going to have to try to get some time back here, but he's not running too quick. But we will see what his final lap time will be. But right now, the way it's trending, Avery Alford will be starting on the front row alongside Ryan Osborne for the Season 2 Florida 500. And it sure is. It is official. Avery Alford is your pole sitter for the Florida 500 for Racing Motorsports. And Aaron Abel, what a performance by the Toyotas and Rams here tonight. They really put on a show, showing how fast they are going into the race. On his outside will be that 80 of Ryan Osborne. Him and Chris Martins both looking fast for Bo Racing as well. But that'll be all for me here tonight, folks, as I'll see you guys tomorrow night for the duels here, and we will see what the rest of the grid will be like. Unless the 42 or 80 crash, they will be the ones on the front row. But folks, you'll see the results of this qualifying on your screen. But that is all for me tonight here. This is Charlie Davenport signing off from In Our Truck Night America Daytona Pole Day here at Daytona International Speedway. Have a good night.